know, man, to be honest with you, I don't really think about that. I just think about working hard, keep stepping up, and keep up in the rankings and keep proving ourselves. And boxing changes so quick, man, you know?
David Benavidez's final day of training before his highly anticipated fight with David Morrell was nothing short of intense. Inside his Phoenix gym, the air was thick with anticipation as the two-time WBC super middleweight champion geared up for the biggest challenge of his career. Known for his relentless pressure, sharp boxing, and impressive stamina, Benavidez was leaving no stone unturned in the final hours of his preparation. The session began with an intense round of sparring, where Benavidez faced opponents selected specifically to mimic Morrell's southpaw style. The goal was to replicate the exact challenges he would face on fight night. Benavidez wasted no time, unloading a flurry of punches, doubling up on jabs, landing crisp right hands, and delivering powerful body shots. His movement was smooth and purposeful as he worked on cutting off the ring, ensuring Morrell wouldn't be able to escape his pressure. Benavidez's sparring partners were quick and evasive, but he stayed right on top of them, not giving them a moment to breathe. On the sidelines, his father and trainer, David Benavidez Sr., offered advice and guidance between rounds. It was clear that the sparring wasn't just about power, it was about strategy. Benavidez focused on adjusting to Morrell's tricky southpaw stance, shifting his footwork and defensive positioning to stay one step ahead. The pace was relentless, pushing Benavidez to his limits. As the rounds continued without breaks, it became evident he was preparing for a long, grueling fight, one where endurance would be just as crucial as power. After sparring, it was time for mitt work, where Benavidez's precision and power truly shined. His father called out different combinations, and Benavidez responded with lightning-fast accuracy. The sound of leather meeting pads echoed throughout the gym as he worked through a variety of punches, jabs, crosses, left hooks to the body, and uppercuts. Every punch was thrown with intent, and his form was flawless. His father's voice cut through the rhythm, offering small corrections to ensure everything was perfect. The focus was clear, building combinations to break down Morrell's defense and set up powerful counters. Next came heavy bag work, and Benavidez wasted no time, unleashing brutal combinations, with a special emphasis on targeting the body. Knowing that Morrell can be vulnerable to getting hit, Benavidez planned to exploit that. Each punch landed with a solid thud, and sweat poured down his face, but he didn't slow down. His movements were fluid, and after every punch, he was quick to move his head, staying mindful of any potential counters. The day's training also prioritized conditioning, a key part of Benavidez's reputation for exceptional stamina. He hit the treadmill for explosive sprints, pushing his cardio to the limit. Additionally, he worked on his footwork, jumping rope with precision and speed. Benavidez was not just preparing for power, but for a fight that would demand constant movement, defense, and endurance. 2 bits. Benavidez also worked on his foot speed and coordination with rope jumping, essential for closing the distance and maintaining relentless pressure throughout the fight. Fatigue had no place in his strategy. Every second had to count. His core training, including medicine ball slams and sit-ups, helped strengthen his body to withstand the punishment that comes with a high-intensity battle like the one he was preparing for. But perhaps the most important part of the day was the mental preparation. Benavidez spent considerable time visualizing the fight, running different scenarios in his head. Focused and determined, he knew this fight could define his career. He spoke to his team with unwavering confidence, his words reflecting not only his belief in his abilities, but also the work he'd put in throughout the entire camp. By the time his final training session ended, Benavidez was both physically and mentally ready. His team shared his confidence, knowing that they had prepared for every possible challenge. As the day wrapped up, a sense of quiet expectation filled the gym. The fight was nearing, and the only thing left was to step into the ring and execute the plan they'd worked so hard to build. Benavidez was ready to make a statement, and the energy in the gym made it clear. The showdown with David Morrell would be one for the ages. Great news for Benavidez's fans. He shed the extra weight he was carrying just a month ago, making a rapid transformation. With another month before the fight, he could get even leaner. In the latest footage, Benavidez bears a striking resemblance to Morrell, but what truly sets him apart is his crisp combination punching. However, there's concern that Benavidez's aggressive style may be risky against someone like Morrell. His tendency to stand in front of his opponent and throw combos could backfire, as Morrell is known for his counter-punching and speed. Benavidez's aggressive approach has worked well in the past at 168 pounds, where he overpowered aging opponents like Demetrius Andrade and outclassed fighters like Caleb Plant. But against a skilled fighter like Morrell, or a power puncher like Arthur Beterbiev, Benavidez could be in serious trouble if he tries to stand toe-to-toe and trade punches. If he sticks to his volume punching strategy, he may not just lose, but get knocked out. This fight against Morrell is Benavidez's first real test, and after 11 years of building his record against smaller opponents, the flaws in his approach are starting to show. There's speculation that Morrell's lackluster performance against Rivia Kid in his light heavyweight debut on August 3rd is why Team Benavidez accepted the fight. Morrell had his opponent in trouble multiple times early on, but failed to capitalize by going for a one-punch knockout instead of using his combinations. That costly mistake exposed his inexperience, but Benavidez should expect a much sharper, more disciplined Morrell this time around, one who has learned from his past mistakes. Benavidez fights with a distinct flow, as if a faucet is switched on and the punches keep coming. His relentless assault could overwhelm opponents to the point where the referee might need to step in. Morrell, however, will likely try to counter that aggression with precise, calculated counters, looking for openings in Benavidez's attack. 3 bits. Benavidez's unrelenting pressure is like a rising tide against a crumbling seawall. His sheer force wears opponents down until resistance becomes futile. Even with a compact high guard and well-timed level changes, Benavidez's relentless style can overwhelm anyone in his path. While Benavidez's blows are undeniably powerful, Morrell's explosiveness makes him a dangerous one-punch threat. If the southpaw can time his strike perfectly and land a power shot before Benavidez sees it coming, he could walk out of Las Vegas with 2 light heavyweight world titles. The danger becomes even greater if Morrell is varying his levels and launching punches with explosive precision. On paper, Morrell lacks the professional experience that Benavidez brings to the table. With just 11 pro fights and no world champion experience, Morrell is at a significant disadvantage in terms of ring maturity. Benavidez has faced and defeated superior opponents, giving him a huge edge in experience. That advantage extends beyond the physical. Benavidez's confidence in the lead-up to the fight reflects his vast experience, allowing him to talk freely about his achievements and back them up with action. While Morrell's explosive power is a real threat, Benavidez holds the mental edge. Their animosity is genuine, but Benavidez's years of experience dealing with pressure and high-stakes situations give him an advantage. Stylistically, Benavidez is more fluid in his approach, sometimes dropping his guard to unleash punches with rhythm. Morrell, on the other hand, maintains a disciplined defense, keeping his guard high and his chin well protected. The real question is whether Morrell can withstand Benavidez's relentless pressure, but heading into the fight, the Cuban fighter's defense appears to hold the edge.
We just have to be ready for the opportunities, you know? But no, I never really thought about that. We're active. We just want to be active, and keep fighting whoever. Otherwise, we're going to sit down, you know, waiting. We don't want to wait.
This highly anticipated clash between David Benavidez and David Morrell has been years in the making, with more than just the light heavyweight crown at stake. The winner of this showdown has the opportunity to solidify their place as a dominant force in the division, potentially climb the pound-for-pound rankings, and carve out a lasting legacy as one of boxing's brightest stars for years to come. Fans and experts alike have been eagerly awaiting this bout, with many believing that both fighters have clear paths to victory. The odds makers have been equally intrigued, setting the fight as a near toss-up. DraftKings Sportsbook currently has the odds at Benavidez minus 190 and Morrell plus 155. Boxing experts have weighed in on what promises to be a thrilling contest, providing an in-depth analysis of both fighters and their chances of success. Juan Manuel Marquez, the boxing legend and pro analyst, acknowledges that this will be a complicated fight for Benavidez, particularly in the early rounds. He notes that while Morrell may have the advantage of youth and explosive power, Benavidez's speed, experience, and the level of opposition he has faced give him a distinct edge. Marquez emphasizes that Benavidez's conditioning, which has always been a strength, will play a pivotal role in allowing him to overcome Morrell and secure a victory, likely by decision. Stephen A. Smith, a well-known sports commentator and self-proclaimed huge David Benavidez fan, echoed Marquez's sentiments, sharing his admiration for Benavidez's mentality and approach to the sport. Smith praised Benavidez for his fearlessness in the ring, pointing out that he ducks no one and is always ready for a challenge. This boldness has become a hallmark of Benavidez's career. He consistently faces the toughest opponents and thrives in high-stakes situations. Smith said, "David Benavidez versus David Morrell Jr. is a big fight. I'm a huge David Benavidez fan, and I applaud him because he ducks no one. He's ready to fight at all times. He is the Mexican Monster." Benavidez's nickname, the Mexican Monster, has become synonymous with his relentless, aggressive style in the ring. Smith's comments on Benavidez's fearless nature highlight how Benavidez's ability to take punches and continue pushing forward has earned him respect, even from critics who question his defensive style. Smith added that while Benavidez's willingness to stand in the pocket and trade punches is admirable, he does wonder if this approach will eventually catch up to him, considering his tendency to absorb a lot of punishment. Despite Benavidez's physical toughness, the fight against Morrell presents a unique challenge. Morrell, while still relatively inexperienced with only 11 professional fights and a total of 54 rounds under his belt, has a significant size, reach, and power advantage. However, his lack of professional experience is a notable disadvantage compared to Benavidez's extensive resume. Morrell has built his reputation as an amateur standout and has shown moments of brilliance in his pro career. But his performance against Rivia Kid in his light heavyweight debut was far from impressive. Many believe that this fight represents a massive step up for Morrell, as he will face someone with Benavidez's offensive firepower and experience. Palmer, another boxing analyst, also weighed in on the fight, pointing to Benavidez's aggressive, high-volume punching style as a major factor in the contest. Palmer described Benavidez as a fighter who could overwhelm his opponents with constant pressure, switching between smothering offense and more calculated boxing when needed. This versatility makes Benavidez a difficult opponent for anyone, and Palmer believes this ability will prove crucial in his matchup against Morrell. However, Palmer raised an interesting concern. Benavidez's first fight at light heavyweight did not go as smoothly as expected. He questioned whether Benavidez's power at 175 pounds would be the same as it was at super middleweight, and if this would affect his ability to score knockouts in this fight. Despite these concerns, Palmer still believes that Benavidez's superior experience, combined with his overall skill set, will be enough to carry him to victory, most likely by decision. Palmer stated, "This fight is a huge step up in class for Morrell, facing an aggressive, high-volume puncher like Benavidez who can smother his opponents. I believe Benavidez's experience and ability to adjust will lead him to victory." In the end, this fight is shaping up to be a true test for both fighters. Benavidez's experience, combined with his power, speed, and relentless pressure, makes him the favorite, but Morrell's explosiveness and size will make him a dangerous challenger. As the two prepare to step into the ring, the excitement continues to build, with fans and experts alike eager to see who will emerge victorious and claim the light heavyweight crown.